Alright, so hey there guys, it's me here again, and I have another video from Phil. It's called Harvard Study Reveals Substantial Racial Stereotyping Towards Black Children by White Teachers. Now here is what this dumb motherfucker is gonna say. I've started it around the 3-minute mark, because otherwise you're just talking gibberish and shit, but let's go ahead and start.
Now, they say young children, listen how sick this is. Let me start on the next one. Black children were seen less negatively than black adults, but were seen more negatively than children from other racial groups except for Native American and Hispanic. Now, they say young black children aged 0 to 8 were almost 3 times more likely to be rated as being lazy than white adults. How are you going to compare a black child to an adult and saying a child is lazy? You see how sick and demented these people are?
Wait.
How are you going to Now, they say young black children aged 0 to 8 were almost 3 times more likely to be rated as being lazy than white adults. How do you...
Okay, even I'm gonna say it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but as a comparison.
You're going to compare a black child to an adult?
I guess they're saying in generic terms, like, I don't even know what the hell. What kind of comparison is that? Even I'll tell you that one. Even I think they kind of fucked up on that one.
Lazy. You also more likely to be considered lazy. They say with Native American, Hispanic young children also more likely to be considered lazy than white adults. So basically, anybody that's non-white, they're lazy. It's a problem. Okay.
No, because it's a culture of laziness within certain communities, especially within, I don't want to say Hispanic, because not all Hispanics and Latinos are the exact same people. There are some Latinos and Hispanics that I can respect, but this is mainly about Mexicans, if we're really going to be honest. And I think they use that Hispanic term to try to obscure that fact, but they're mainly talking about Mexicans and Central Americans. And within those communities, there is like a culture of laziness. I've seen it for myself, compared to other communities, especially in the white community. I don't know why he always says communities like that, because it's a lot less connected than you think. But just for the sake of simplicity, we'll refer to them as communities.
Young black children were more than twice as likely to be rated as unintelligent or violence-prone compared to as likely to be rated as... It's a problem, okay? Young black children were more than twice as likely to be rated as unintelligent or violence-prone compared with white children of the same age, with young Hispanic children also seen as more unintelligent and violence-prone than white children. Okay. How many black...
Oh, wait, before we go there, because I'm going to start fucking dying. I want to start laughing now. But, oh, he's going to say something really fucking stupid. But, oh, sorry, I think I'm too close to the microphone. So, basically, that's actually true. This thing is stupid. Phil hasn't been in school in like 30 fucking years. So, he's in his 40s. Damn near 50s, I think. So, how the hell do you know what's different now compared to back then when you were in school? He might have been too stupid to even notice. But, when I was in school, because I'm substantially younger, I'm only 17. But when I was in school, I'm still in school, but when I was younger, in lower grades, I would see stuff like that. A lot of the black kids would do dumb shit in a more extreme manner than most of the white kids. I would notice that. I think even at the age of 6, I could see the pattern there. Where I lived, there wasn't a whole lot of Hispanics, so I can't speak for that. But when I got into middle school, that's when I started seeing more Hispanics, and I can confirm that yes, that's also true for Hispanics. But I really can't say we're certain, because even then there's not a whole lot of Hispanics in my town, period. I live up north, so there's not a whole lot of Hispanics up here, but and a small town on top of that. But there were a few, and some of them were of the lesser caliber, but most of the Hispanics that went to my school were fine. They really didn't do stuff like that. They were of Hispanic descent, but they weren't. But for the most part, they were Americans. If that makes any sense at the core.
Age, with young Hispanic children also seen as more unintelligent and violence prone than white children. Okay. How many black children do you know shot up a school? Do you know shot up a school? How many black children do you know shot up a school?
He went there. Look at his fucking face. Every fucking time I pause a video with him speaking, he has some of the ugliest still frames I have ever seen.
I haven't seen one that's going there shooting up schools. I mean, if blacks are so violent, what?
Okay, you dumb motherfucker. Okay, so this is the amazing part. This guy grew up in the ghetto. Now, the ghetto was a little different back then, and I really can't speak for it because the only time I lived in the ghetto was when I was having financial problems. Other than that, I didn't grow up in the ghetto. I never really lived there like that. Nor do I ever want to. Who the fuck wants to do that? That's like a fucking suicide mission. But, shit, I like where I live. I don't want to go to the ghetto. So I can't speak a whole lot on this, but I have been near ghettos. And when I was in middle school, I had the misfortune of going to one of the worst schools in my district because I was just barely out of the area where I had to be sent to that school. Because in my district, the superintendent got rid of wavering, which allowed kids to go to the schools of their choice. Or really the parents' choice, but you know what I mean. And when they quit doing that, a lot of people left to the north side of town. Lots of people moved. I remember it was like a great exodus when they got rid of that. So, a lot of people, even including myself, migrated up north. Because that's bullshit. But before that, I had the misfortune of going to that school, and I can tell you that there is a culture of violence within the black community. Because it was a majority black school. So I got to, experience that culture. I didn't like it. But I got to have the experience. And, with that experience, it kind of gave me more appreciation for my own culture. But, and also, I am living proof that, yes, I have experienced it. There is a culture of violence within the black community. It just is. It's just there. And it's even worse in certain parts of the country. It seems to be worse up here in the north, where a lot of black people are congregated in, like, little areas. But, it's extremely segregated here in the north. Let me think, though. So, I got way off track. I went off on a huge tangent. So, he said, how many black children do you know shot up at school? Or a school. A school. But really a school. And this is a bit misleading because the reasons for why you see these white kids are, shooting schools are completely different from why black kids are shooting each other. And you know this, but he's playing stupid. Oh my god, I just looked up at my monitor and saw how ugly his face was again. But anyway. But, yeah, I know looks are petty, but really, this guy's ugly as hell. But, damn it, I keep losing my train of thought because I keep going off on dumb shit. Oh, yeah, the reasons are completely different. So, mass shootings are more common in the black community because mass shooting, I believe, is qualified under 4 or 5 more people shot. And this happens on a daily basis in the black community. And not even just within schools, but just within, or schools rather, sorry, but just within that society. And he knows this. He knows this. So he's being a fucking idiot. The reason why you see these white kids shooting up schools is because it's a byproduct of our increasingly failing society. You know, and these people are going off the handle because of it. Now, I could do a whole video on why mass shootings happen, and, you know, but that will take us like 4 hours, and I only have a short amount of time to do this video, because I got other things that I want to do today, besides talk about this dumb motherfucker. Let's continue.
Why are we shooting up schools constantly? I don't understand that.
I can't believe how cognitively distant this motherfucker is. He admits that he grew up in the ghetto. So you know that people are shooting each other all the time there. He's done stories. He's done hundreds of stories. If you go to his channel, you go here, and then you click on it, and go... In fact, let me even show you. You go here. You go to oldest. You will find... Yeah, you can also see that he did stories on, like, miscellaneous things back then. Now he's full on batshit insane. Oh, there goes the school shooter right there. But as you can see, we go back into his archives. You can find, look at this. You can find examples. Look at all this. Look at all this. Of black people killing each other. Look at all these fucking videos. If you go into his archives, you will find several, if not hundreds, of examples. Oh wait, we need to do a video on this too. If I'll even bookmark it, because that was rich. But so he's just playing stupid.
Blacks are unintelligent.
Now this video is not scripted, so if I sound like an idiot, it's because I'm just going off what my memory has.
Blacks are this. We all these things, but yet you can't stay away from us. Even when we go to Africa, you're there. I seen it in my own eyes. I'm like, man, can we go one place where they're not following us?
As you can tell, this obviously fakes reaction. Look how melodramatic he's being. Like, what the fuck?
But you treating us like crap. And you wonder why our children have identity issues. You wonder why the children sometimes look down on themselves. You're being subjected to people who have white supremacist attitudes to our young, precious children.
No. It's not white supremacist attitudes. But I would say it's Eurocentric. Which is how society even used to be 20 years ago. You know. Well, I wasn't alive 20 years ago, but I was around in the 2000s. In mid-2000s. Like, I was a very aware child. You know, I paid close attention to my surroundings. I absorbed it. And back then, yes, society was more Eurocentric, and it wasn't afraid to be. That was the thing. You know, people were saying that they weren't racist all day long, but at the end of the day, they were still Eurocentric. Even if they didn't have any kind of negative views towards other people, they still cared about their own more than others. So, with these days, you just have full-on submission to people who fucking hate you. And it's frustrating as hell to see that. But, I mean, there have been examples where people with actual white supremacist ideology, because that's an ideology, but him to Phil, the basic idea of preserving white people is white supremacy. the basic idea of seeing things through more of a Eurocentric lens is white supremacy to him. So even the things that aren't even racist at all are white supremacy to him. So when he says white supremacy, pay attention to what he's talking about.
And it falls back on us as adults and as their parents to say, you must protect your children. This is why.
You must protect your children. It's so hard for you to use the damn letter T. Protect your children. I don't know, I'm just a grammar nut and it drives me crazy when people use that.
I put my daughter in a black school, black teachers. I am happy with that. I am good with that. She's getting great education, and I don't have to subject her to what we see in this article.
If you feel like that, I don't care what you do. What's that got to do with me?
Now, y'all talking about building here. Well, we need to build in America, not just Africa. Fine. Y'all want to start building schools? I'm all for building schools. I'm all for helping put in for it. I'm all for doing my part to help build schools for our children so they don't have to be subjected to this mess. But when are we going to say in each city that we need to pool our resources together and build schools for our children? It's not right for our children to be subjected to this. This is sick.
You're not in school. You haven't been in school in like 30 years. What the hell are you talking about? You don't know anything. You don't know anything. It'd be better to ask someone like me, who's been in school in the last 10 years.
This is sick. So they say some of the strongest levels of negative stereotyping reported by white adults working with children are reported toward teenagers, with black teenagers and Native Americans close to 10 times more likely to be considered lazy than white adults. Black and Hispanic teens were between 1.5 to 2 times more likely to be considered violence prone and unintelligent than white adults and white teens. That even goes for Hispanic people that watch the channel, that subscribe and like the page. You need to consider when you're sending your kids as well. And there's some people, like I said, I have to talk about this within the Hispanic group. Some people want to play both sides. They don't like you according to this either. I know some of you want to join.
Who the fuck is they? Who's they? Like, who's they?
Trump and be against your.
Some people might not like Hispanics, but who the fuck is they? That's the thing. He tries to group every single solitary white person, into like this group of like people who just hate everyone. If that makes any sense. Excuse me.
People, but they don't like you either. This is what they're saying. Now they said these findings are.
Wait, whoa, what did you say?
Like you either. I know some of you want to join Trump and be against your own people, but they don't like you either.
Be against who? You realize that all Hispanics are the same, right? Some people have different reasons for. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure most of you watching this video already know that. So most of you who watch this video probably aren't going to be retards. But this guy is, obviously.
This is what they're saying.
And here's the stupid part. He made a video before this one saying that Hispanic is not a race. So why is he grouping all Hispanics in here like they're all one race of people? This guy contradicts himself. You can't make this shit up. This shit writes itself.
Now they said these findings are highly concerning given the strong scientific evidence that negative racial attitudes are associated with poor quality care and services and with disparities in health, education, and social outcomes. These negative attitudes have been found toward even young children aged 0 to 8 among adults who work with or volunteer with them has serious potential consequences for these children's outcomes throughout life. Countering these negative stereotypes among adults work with children and protecting children from minority backgrounds from the potential impact of these attitudes is an important strategy to address racial disparities.
Okay, so like I said earlier, the Eurocentric viewpoint. That's not white supremacy in any way. Oh, you can't judge people and say that you're an awful person for viewing something through a lens that you were born into. Like, and that's what pisses me off, because it's like people think that you have some kind of divine right to talk about minorities. Not all, but you know. It's like some people like this, and even have some white people that are fucking retarded, they'll say the same thing. They'll say stuff like this. And say that if you view anything through a Eurocentric lens, then you're a racist. I'm like, what? You don't have control over that. Like, people may not even know. Like, people try to label us all kinds of random shit, like subconscious racism and all this other stupid shit. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Everything is fucking racist these days, I tell you.
Oh, in every area of our lives, our little children, 0 to 8, they say they are lazy, unintelligent.
And how the hell, just because it came from Harvard doesn't mean that it's correct. You know that, right?
I mean, this is why I say they don't need to have any position over black folk, because they come in with that attitude. That's why, you know, they try to stack the juries full of them, because they know I'm gonna get these enough of them on there that feel the way about black people. I'm not saying all of them do, but the ones that do, they bank on them convicting black folk.
You go off on a tangent about dumb shit again. We'll get to that later.
Man, some kids maybe don't have...
Not in this video, but in another one.
Trying to get an education. Okay, some kids go through things. Some kids maybe don't have a dad at home. Some kids are struggling. Some kids, you know, they got a hard life.
And how is that anybody else's fault? Because when I was in school, you know, especially when I was in primary school, I was having some financial trouble myself. But you know what? I didn't take it out on people. I knew it would be fixed in the end. And I was happy as hell when I went to school. To be around other people. You know, like, that's not an excuse at all. My dad wasn't at home either. Parents are going through a divorce at the time. Barely had any money. You know, shit like that happens. But I was pissed off about it, don't get me wrong, but I didn't show it at school. It wasn't anybody else at school. It wasn't their fault. At all. That was my personal issue.
Of course, sometimes they'd express that at times. But man, you just looking at our little kids, it's just, you know what I'm saying? But
who was looking at the kids like that? You can't confirm anything that was in that study.
Kids in your group, they can do no wrong.
That's bullshit.
This is why, once again, we need to build our own schools. And if this is not no hating nobody to say this.
You're right. It's not. If you feel like you're not adequately being served by the school system, you know, or whatever, I don't give a flying fuck. What, dude? You don't need my permission to do that, or anybody else's. If you feel that way, do it. I don't give a fuck. But what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna jeopardize anybody else by doing so. If you go off for your own little corner somewhere, I don't give a flying fuck. At least you're out of my hair. I'm talking about Phil.
This isn't right. This is Harvard University putting this out. Telling black people once again, you need to protect your children. Continue.
Oh, and ever since 2018, he went into full tinfoil hat mode and started going apeshit with these videos and literally contradicting himself and sometimes outright lying and over-exaggerating certain things to radicalize his audience. This guy may be fucking stupid, but he's not that stupid. He knows what he's doing.
They say this.
Like I said, if you have the time, watch some of his newer videos and watch some of his older ones, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Study is a wake-up call to every professional group who works with children in the U.S., doctors, teachers, police, child care workers, and others. It suggests that many professionals with good intentions may be treating America's valuable possession, our little children, badly without even being aware of it. You know, it's so frustrating. It is frustrating. It's like you can't help the color of your skin. Nobody can. Nobody had a choice in anything. And just because you're born with this skin, just because another group of people with a different color skin...
You fucking idiot! Race is more than skin color. I can't stand people do that crap. I can't stand people do that at all. Because they always want to do that. Oh, it's just skin color, bro. It's just skin color. What are you mad about? Race is more than skin color. This isn't 1985 anymore, okay? We're not that fucking stupid.
They feel it's their right to treat you bad and treat
Nobody's saying it's right to treat anybody bad. Where are you getting this shit from? He's just pulling shit out of his ass constantly in these videos.
little children bad. And the white supremacists, they have no morals. They don't care about harming your children. They don't care about treating your child any kind of way. And I remember.
What the hell are you talking about? What is he even going on about? This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Well, what the fuck is he talking about? And like I said, when he says white supremacy, he's not talking about, most of the time anyway, he's not talking about, or he conflates an actual white supremacist. Because you gotta keep in mind, white supremacists and white supremacist ideology has been around even when white people were in the majority in America. So it's it's a certain ideology. It's not in prison. What? I can't wrap my head around what he's saying.
Telling that to my wife, I said I can't send my little girl to that school, the public school. I couldn't do it. I said I got to send her with black people. I got to, and that way I know the black sisters got her.
It's like, it's the way he says, like, I've got to do this. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. It gets me. I don't know why.
Teachers are great, and I just feel more at peace. Yes, I may have to drive a little bit. And that's an issue. We got to get on the beltway a lot, but it is what it is. Like I said, this article just made me sick to my stomach. And like I said, I'll post a link to this. And those of you who make videos, make your videos about this. This is how.
Well, I make videos too, and I'm going to debunk your shit. So where's the article? He didn't even put the article in the description. Oh, there it is. He said the description, not the comment section, you idiot. Okay, so here's the article. And we're going to look over this at another time. But for now, that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned. I'll be back with more videos on this dumbass shit. So, okay, anyway. But you know what I mean. You guys have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now.